DJs need love too.
Oh, they need love.
Yeah, DJs need love too.
Yeah, they need love too.
Yeah, DJs need love too.
Yeah, they need love.
Yeah, DJs need love too.
Yeah, they need love too.
DJs need love too.
Oh, they need love.
Check. Back with another episode of the DJs Need Love 2 show. I go by the name of DJ Battio.
I am DJ Monae, and this is
the one and only DJ Stormy Monroe.
Let me bring Stormy in right. The official DJ for Super Bowl festivities 2 times in a row.
About to be 3, Battio.
Official DJ for legendary R&B superstar group 112. Essence Festival 2-time, 3-time, 4-time DJ offender. The Mimosa Land official DJ. The Funk Fest official DJ. Miss Big Stage herself, DJ Stormy, is in the building. How you doing?
Gosh, wow.
I put that.
That was a lot. Thank you so much.
And it's a lot more than I forgot, right?
Well, yes, but it's not necessary.
Yeah.
It's not necessary because I just love the love. So thank you so much.
Yes.
so Stormy. Like Battio mentioned, Essence Festival and the Super Bowl. Yeah. You're from New Orleans. How does it feel going back to New Orleans?
Oh, man, when I found out so this will be my 3rd Super Bowl gig. I did Las Vegas, Phoenix, and now New Orleans. So when I found out in October that I was doing Super Bowl in my home city, it was crazy.
Yeah.
My entire energy shifted, just everything about going back home and being present and being on the stage and doing some after parties and stuff like that. It's absolutely amazing. I'm so excited, y'all. Y'all have no idea. Because New Orleans is a very small, big city. And we have a lot of talent in New Orleans. Y'all may know New Orleans from the P and the Cash Moneys and stuff like that. But we truly have a lot of musical and creative talent that come out of New Orleans. So to be able to go back home and represent on the big stage and do some of the bigger parties and stuff, it's just different. It's different than Essence. It's different than anything that I've ever done in my city. So I'm excited, Monet.
How was that experience when you got that phone call to do the Super Bowl?
Oh, man, I was ecstatic. The funny thing is with that agency, True Story, I was introduced to that agency probably a year and a half via Miss Basketball, Christina Granville, who's an awesome host. Shout out to my girl, my sis. So she had referred me a while back, but I never heard anything from them. And then when they hit me up, I was like, for real? For real. And then I didn't even know that I was going to be the game day DJ. I thought I was just DJing the experience. So the experience is kind of like the Essence in the convention center where you go and you're on the main stages and stuff like that. So I was excited just for that, Monet. I was super excited. I was like, yeah, I'm doing something with Super Bowl. And not until Friday evening, they text me on my phone, and I looked and I got it from the agency. They was like, this is your stage. We're doing a walkthrough. I was like, my stage for what? And it was like, oh, no, this is your stage for Super Bowl Sunday. I'm like, who's going to be on that stage with me? And it was like, no, you're DJing the main stage for Super Bowl Sunday for the NFL Game Day experience. I'm like, me? I was like, no way. I did not have not one clue. Not one clue that was going to be me.
So you get a lot of big gigs. Do you normally get excited still like that?
Heck yeah, I'm super grateful. Anytime anybody gives me an opportunity, I am extremely grateful, and I'm very humbled. I don't look any type of way when I look at certain gigs with certain dollar amounts, because I still entertain all dollar amounts, and I want to be fair across the board, because everybody don't have large budgets, but also everything you can barter, right? So you can do some of the marketing or get more promo. I'm not here locally anymore in Atlanta, so when I come back, I know they don't have those type of budgets to book me, but in return, now I'm getting all the promo and the marketing and visibility that I need to stay relevant here in Atlanta. So why would we charge our promoters that's been down with us for so long, that's birthed us, and charge them $2,000 to show up when they know their budgets? They could be a little bit more flexible. That's a whole different topic. But their budgets are only between and restricted between a certain dollar amount for their DJs.
I like the way you said that.
Yeah.
But listen, if y'all haven't watched Stormy's first episode, go watch the first one, because everything she's about to say now is going to make sense.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Everything she said is really coming full circle right now.
Yeah.
Facts, man. New Orleans, they had the Super Bowl. Yeah. But they have they all coming up with throwing a lot of big events. Do you ever see yourself going back there to move?
I thought about it for a very long time. I was dating somebody in New Orleans, and we're going to leave that right there. And I did. I was like, I could see myself doing, 2 cities, living in Atlanta, living in New Orleans. I feel personally I've outgrown New Orleans, not professionally, but just as a person, like I need a big city. And
Yeah.
for me, because of all the traveling that I do,
Yeah.
I'm always on tour. I need to be in an international airport, with a city with an international airport.
Yeah.
And Atlanta for me just works. Like I could do Miami, I could do New York. I mean, New Orleans has international flights, but a lot of them I have to connect through other cities, and it does not work for me. So I don't really see myself, as long as I'm an entertainer. I might go back and buy some property or do some business deals with some people from New Orleans. I'm always going to keep my roots there, but outside of that, I don't think I could live there full time, just because I don't like. It's not functional for me.
What's the travel like for you? You do a lot of traveling. Do you carry a DJ controller? Do you have bags of wires? Like, for the people that's watching you, like myself and a lot of DJs, what is that travel like looking for you right now?
So I used to carry the controller and stuff, and every now and then I will carry my controller, especially if it's an international place.
The big ones or like the little small ones?
Just the regular size,
Okay,
like
cool.
a SRT 1000
I got you,
or
yeah, yeah.
SX3, maybe the smallest.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't do the smaller ones just
Yeah.
because of my nails.
Yeah.
And I DJ with my nails because I love it. I love how it looks. I love how it
Yeah.
feels. I feel like, that's me.
That
That's just-
girl.
Yeah.
So like once I cut them off one time, I was like,
This is how
not
I
even
DJ.
me. But traveling for me, most of the stuff now is backline, so I don't have to worry about a controller or anything. Everything is backline. Traveling for me is hopping on a flight, not coming home. I'm home probably 2 days a week. Has been my year of 2024, which is such a blessing.
Yes.
Y'all. It's
Big-
so amazing. I don't know if y'all remember, but
Yeah.
I think when I came on the first time, I was saying I wanted to become a tour DJ.
Yes.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
why
yeah,
I say everything's
yeah.
coming full circle.
Man.
Yeah.
International.
Y'all better
everything.
manifest.
Yeah.
Y'all better speak everything into existence. Listen to me. Write it down.
Yeah.
Put it on social media. Like I literally put that I wanted to be a tour DJ on my Insta story and social media.
That's a fact.
And literally it came full circle right back. Like we gotta manifest that stuff.
You also mentioned something about barter.
Yeah.
Now that was super dope. It's a tip DJs need to know, right? Like you see our stuff in the back. That's barter. I did an event for a printing company, and they didn't have a budget to pay me my price, so I just said make us some stuff.
Yeah.
So the DJs, like when she mentioned barter, please put that in your repertoire. All right. Everything is not always going to be a cash value. You got to be able to make it make sense, right?
Yeah, you have to make it make sense. Like for me, like a lot of the larger companies, they can give you more visibility, but sometimes for the entertainment piece, just because it's only like an hour long
Right.
program, they don't have $3,000 or $5,000
Yeah.
to pay you. They may only have $1,500 to pay you. And a lot of celebrity DJs or corporate DJs, they may pass on that
Yeah.
because their regular budget is $3,000 or $5,000 to do it. But just look at the visibility. Is that company able to give us the visibility that we need as a brand that we may be in their commercials or on the billboard or on the main program?
So it
and
kinda
it's
works
like
out on the back end.
thousands of people, right? So I've done stuff on the lower end of my budget restriction, but then I'm on the app.
Yeah.
And every attendee, which was over 500 attendees, now have my app, my information on the app, everything about me on the app.
And the face
My
card.
bio, you know how much business I got
Yeah,
from that?
that-
That's crazy.
this
So
is-
we have to be a little bit more strategic and intentional, I would say,
Yeah.
when it comes to booking business as a DJ, as a brand. We can't just lay out a price and just be like, okay, that's my price. I'm not taking anything less, because that company may do something that will be much more beneficial than $1. Just being honest.
I agree with that. So let's go back to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Right, because this is one of the reasons why we're here. I'm really excited that she's here, and you are from New Orleans.
I'm from New Orleans, baby.
So I think she know what the question is coming up, right?
Oh, man.
How
you
do
really
you
gonna do that.
feel, and what do you plan to do to rep your city?
So, see, I didn't think that's where he was about to go, honestly. But I'm glad he didn't go where I thought he was about to go.
Okay,
He
okay.
went there without really going
Yeah.
there.
So, to rep my city, honestly, I really feel like Atlanta is my new home. I'm from New Orleans. Atlanta is home for me as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to infuse a lot of the Atlanta Southern hospitality vibes, those 92,000s that anybody could relate to.
Yeah.
And then, of course, New Orleans. It's going to be kind of difficult on Super Bowl Sunday just because it's a lot of people coming in. Maybe Philly, maybe Washington, maybe Buffalo.
LA.
Yeah, maybe LA. So there's a lot of different people, but people don't understand, Battio. Most of the people that attend Super Bowl, it's mostly corporate attendance,
Yeah.
and they normally don't look like us, honestly. They don't look like us. So when Philly made it, when we was in, I think it's Phoenix, and Philly made it, man, I was so excited. I was like, yeah, we about to drop all the Meek Mills and everything, and that was not what showed up. And so thankfully, I was an EDM DJ, and that's how I started in this business, was the EDM DJ. So I had my whole catalog filled, like I had crates and crates with nothing but EDM, hype music, fun music, stadium music, what we call stadium music. So I got really, really lucky my first year, because if not, I think a lot of us would have sank, just coming from a Southern DJ, not really having a lot of EDM in their stadium music, unless we were doing something for the Falcons or the Hawks or, some kind of professional team, we would not have had that music.
So what is stadium music, if you can break that down?
Yeah, for me, stadium music, I don't know what the actual dictionary version is, but for me, stadium music is any music that you can play to a crowd, arena, a stadium of people, to keep them hyped, empowered, really high energy. So when I think of stadium music, I think Lil Jon, Black Eyed Peas, stuff like that. Even some of the EDM people like Avicii, stuff like that, that could actually keep the crowd, keep the energy, keep everybody kind of hype on their feet. Yeah, Flow Rider for sure, for sure. Yeah, so that's stadium music for me. Anything that keeps the energy level high at all times.
Okay, so let's get into this next part where you started traveling internationally with 112.
Tweezy.
So how did that come about?
So I put out into the universe, as we stated earlier, that I wanted to be a tour DJ. I put it on social media, and I was already kind of, wanting to do something different than just being in the Atlanta scene. Not that you're better than anybody, or it's just as a brand, you want to always want to evolve. Yeah. And so I try to tell everybody, like, stop thinking about this little circle. Start thinking from a macro perspective of what you can do and where you could take your brand. There's so much money out there. And so one of the things I wanted was to be a tour DJ. I didn't know the commitment level of it, but I wanted to be a tour DJ. And it came up, and I went and I was doing like a light interview kind of walk around for Monica, because Mars had went out. DJ Mars, shout out to DJ Mars. That's my brother, my mentor. I love him to death. And this story will tie right back to Mars, by the way. So I went out to kind of observe for one of their shows, because Mars had got picked up on the Millennium Tour, and so he was doing Carrie Hilson and everybody. So I went to go look, and I was like, wow, I could really do this. Nothing came out of it, but I was like, wow, I could really do this. And then when I saw the show, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's a lot of people. Like, I could do festivals, but actually running a show and being the so-called engineer, like, if you make a mistake back there as a tour DJ, that's on you. Like, everything falls on you. And then you got to learn choreography and your punches and all this other stuff, but you got to really be able to play the song, make sure there's no technical difficulties, and it sounds clear. So for me, that's when I was like, you know what, I can do this. So when the opportunity came with 112, the manager reached out to me and said, hey, we're looking at some DJs. We want you to kind of audition for it. We want to consider you to be a tour DJ for 112. So I was like, yeah, okay, cool. I'll get back with you. First person I called, Mars. And I opened up my mouth. Literally, the conversation
Cheat code.
Yeah. Hey, Mars. Hey, what's up? Yeah, so, 12 reached out to me, and they're looking for a tour DJ. Do it. I was like, but I got some questions. Just do it. I was like, Mars, I got some questions. He was like, do it, Stormy. That's how it went. I was like, but you didn't answer none of my questions, because, like, one of the biggest things for me was I built my brand to be a standalone brand. So I'm used to going on doing shows in a festival. I got my own green room. I'm used to being on stage, and it's my logo on the back. Being on tour with another artist, you're not playing secondary, but it's different, right? And so my biggest thing was how that was going to look, so I didn't lose my brand identity that I worked so hard for. And that was the biggest thing for me. But Mars stepped me through it. He was like,
shout out to Mars,
work on that. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Mars. He was like, you can work on that, and you could be a little bit more specific when you're having these conversations with the 12 and the management team. So that way you don't become invisible. And so that's what I did, and I took his advice, and luckily the 12 and the management team, they were absolutely amazing, took into consideration everything that I was saying, and they made me part of the show. So I was like, yes.
I feel like they made you part of the team. I really, if you watch the shows sometimes, you are like the other member.
Yeah,
like
for
you know the
I feel like
choreography.
Choreography, everything.
Yeah, I'm like,
That's my brothers. When I
Yeah.
say I always wanted like a family unit
Yeah.
in this industry, they are my family unit, and they have taught me so much because as DJs, as you start to progress and evolve, like things get a little lonely.
Yeah.
And it's not even our fault, but people start to look at you sideways, or maybe you're getting more jobs or booked more.
I was just talking to Battio about this
Yeah,
stuff today,
and it's nothing that you do or I do, purposefully, to hurt or harm anybody or take money out of their mouths. But it's called evolution, and we all have to grow, and everybody will grow at their own time frame. And so for me, it got really, really lonely. So they became the family that I was looking for. So I was really excited. Yeah.
Okay, so favorite country?
Oh, okay. So I will say my favorite country, as far as like if I'll go there on vacation, would be Australia.
Okay.
So we did.
is that after playing it? Okay.
Yeah, that's after playing it.
Okay.
So we were on a 2-week tour, Juicy Fest, and I did Australia. We did Australia and New Zealand, and that was absolutely amazing. Just the look of like Sydney and Melbourne and Adelaide and Perth.
I gotta visit.
It was so, and then the beauty of New Zealand.
Remember I was supposed to go backstage?
Yes, you were supposed to go.
The DJs Need Love 2 show is planned to follow her to New Zealand, but a lot of production things messed up. But next time, we going to follow it, because it's important to know, like, when you say you're lonely, a lot of DJs that want to go on tour don't know that you're going to be lonely.
You're going to be very lonely.
You're going to miss your family.
But work.
And, and the way you handle it with the mental stage is how?
It's very important, because people think I get to see and do all this stuff, and literally all we do is travel. We are on a plane, example, Australia, on a plane, 22 hours. We get off, check into the hotel, sound check, show that night, get on the plane early in the morning. Like lobby call is probably like 3 a.m. in the morning, and we finish the show at 12:30. By the time we even get, it's taking a shower,
Sleep on the plane.
right, sleep on another plane, head over to Melbourne or Perth, and then it's like that all the time. And so we really don't have a day off. It took us 5 days before we got our first day off to kind of just relax, but then you really don't have energy to do anything else but to sleep and to rest. So Australia was definitely, Monet, for me, that's where I would go back in vacation. And that was with the 12. But then I went to Qatar, and they booked me individually. So I get booked individually, and I go on tour with 112. But Qatar, I would say, I was very impressed. I was like, I could live here. And then they told me it got up to 140 degrees in the summer. I said, nah, that's not me.
Yeah. You got to know when,
But it was beautiful. And the people, they love to party. It's a beautiful city. It's extremely clean. I could definitely go back to Qatar. Fingers crossed, working on getting back to Qatar, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Bahrain, hopefully in 2025. So that's what I'm looking for.
When you do those type of cities, how do you prepare, like, as far as your crates?
So interestingly enough, they love hip hop and R&B. And interestingly enough, just in December, I was in Sweden, Denmark, Germany, Qatar, and every last one of them, they don't even look like us, but they love 90s, 2000s hip hop and R&B.
Yeah.
They are hip hop and R&B heads. When I tell you, and they come out, thousands and thousands and thousands of people, they come out just to listen to hip hop and R&B.
Because they probably don't get to hear it.
Yeah,
that much
you
there,
would think that you have to play a lot of Afro beats, and you do when you're in the club environment.
Yeah.
You do have to sprinkle that in, but they want to hear hip hop. They want to hear R&B. They want to do all the 90s and 2000s, and they also want to hear the Sexy Reds and the Futures and stuff like. Yes.
They like what we like. I love that.
Yeah, they love it. It's crazy.
I would never known that.
Yeah, because I prepared to go to Qatar with a whole different
Afro,
spin and have a lot of like house EDM stuff with like Tyler, the Water remix, and doing kind of like the Afro beats mix.
But I guess when did you figure that out? Like, okay, they like the hip hop.
Yeah, so the opening DJ started playing music, and literally you can tell when he played some of the Afro beats or the house remixes.
The reaction.
Yeah, the reaction of the
Okay.
crowd. I was like, oh, so they really want the hip hop. They want to turn up.
Science right here. This
They
is what
wanna
you call the
shake
science
their
part.
ass, and
Yeah.
they want to turn up. They
Yeah.
want to sing their R&B songs. They want to dance. They want to party. So when I saw that, it was like everything that I worked on, for the most part, I was like, yep. Just go back to the original DJ Stormy kind of.
So let me ask you this question. With that tight schedule when you're
Yeah.
on tour, and we can make this a DJ tip too, how do you find time for people to book you outside of your group? Like how's that conversation being had while you're just on the tight schedule?
So the great thing about being on tour, you know your schedule for the most part for the month and a couple of months out. That's normally how it works. So right now I have already booked up stuff in May. So for me, I take all the requests and I manage my bookings from that. And if I take a request specifically that we don't have a tour date on, I have to let them know, like, hey, I'm available. I'll let my manager know if it's a big budget, excuse me, if it's a big budget booking, that they'll have to find a backup for me, a backup DJ, which we do. Our assistant manager for the group was their original DJ.
Oh.
So he'll have to be my backup.
That's in-house too.
Yeah. So he'll have to be my backup. Or I will have to put some kind of clause or rider in there that says, as long as I'm not going on a tour, I'll show up, and if not, I'll give you about 60 days notice.
Okay.
So I just put that verbiage in there because it's crazy. Like January is a slow month for a lot of tour DJs just because it's planning and getting schedules together. But then I could be wide open for February, and then literally now I don't have not one weekend available in February. And the same thing with May. I have one weekend available in May, but then after that, I'm not there the entire May. So now I'm going into June, and I have requests for September as well. So
Wow.
yeah.
Our last interview, we were just talking about managers, actually.
Yeah.
And he actually advised DJs, you don't need a manager.
Yeah,
When
you
did you
don't.
get to the point in your career where you were like, you know what, I need a manager?
I don't need a manager.
Oh.
So let's be clear. I don't need a manager. I do this full time and have done this full time for since 2018. So for me, I don't need a manager. When I do utilize a manager is when I have like the international bookings
Okay.
and they want to book and I need somebody that knows those markets. I would bring in my road manager,
Okay.
who's 112's manager, and
Super
let him
smart.
handle that.
Yeah.
The other bookings like Super Bowl and
You
CIAA
handle
and
that
all this
yourself.
other stuff, there's agencies that I've worked with and built relationships with, and they're big top brand marketing agencies, and so they would reach out to me individually. So I want people to always feel like they have access to me, but not really have access to me. So access to me, so let's negotiate the rates. And a lot of people kind of go against that. They're like, no, you need a management to do that. I was like, no, because I don't want anybody to be overly aggressive in a
Right.
position where we don't need to be aggressive, and then I lose the bid.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to be underbid, and I want to be valued. So I found that nice grade, nice sweet spot, because I was a VP for quite some time in corporate America, so I know how to handle
Yeah,
business.
you come with a lot of experience already. Yeah.
But just DJs, I would just say, no, build your following, build your business, work with agencies. Don't do any exclusive contracts to any agency. Most of them don't even want you to do an exclusive contract to them. Most of them want you to be able to work and go get other work and help find other work. So if you're signing any contract that's tying you into one manager or one agency, I encourage you, listen to what I'm saying. If anybody approaches you, y'all say, okay, let's do this. Let's work on this. I'm going to give you a green light to go market me, go book me, go get all these bookings. And whatever you do in return, you will get paid for it. So it's not like you're doing the work for free.
Ooh,
Let them
that's a
go
tip.
do that.
Yeah.
Let them go show you the work instead of you signing on and now you becoming somebody or a number on a roster.
Yeah.
And then now you literally are feeding checks to this manager or this agency because everything you book on your own proactively or reactively
Goes back to them.
goes back to them.
Yep.
So I always encourage people, that's my practice. I tell them, sure, I would love to work with you. And that's how we're going to do it. We're going to still make money, but I'm not signing no contract. So I'm going to give you a green light. Go market me. Go get the bookings. Let's do this. Let's make money together.
I'm gonna go up the limb and say, my advice: do not go with agencies. And some agencies, they make way more than a DJ in a particular event.
For sure.
So just be very careful if you do. But my advice is, just find your own gigs and get out there and work.
Yeah. And no real agency that I've dealt with wants you to do an exclusive. They may want you to do a non-compete in there. So, for example, if you're working for Home Depot and you did a major event for them, they may have a 3-month or 6-month clause in there that says you can't go do a major event where you're the face of it for Lowe's.
Yeah.
Right? That's fine. But to be exclusive to a manager or an agency right now, it's not the market. It's not the temperature for it. And so you can
It
make
might not be
money.
consistent.
Right. And make them your partners. Right? So you're the business.
that partnership,
Make them your partners under your umbrella versus being exclusive. I'm not saying you can't. It's just not everybody is able to be exclusive. And so if you want to be exclusive to one, just make sure that they're bringing in just as much as you're giving them and you're bringing in to the table.
And that's all facts. I remember a couple years ago, I DJed for Nike, and for 6 months, I cannot do anything else with another shoe company.
Nope.
And if I would have came out with a product, Nike would have had to have half of it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff. Those big companies, if you work for them, on any type of entertainment side, you got to read those little fine lines. Like, I really could not create anything. If I wanted to make a sneaker or clothing, Nike would have had half of it just for the fact that I have access to their database and stuff while working for them.
Yeah, and normally with those type of contracts, they come with higher pay.
Yeah,
but then sometimes they don't, and they still lock you in.
Still
so
lock
you gotta
you in,
be
yep.
careful.
So I know our first interview, we did a segment where it was like giving DJs their flowers. So we're going to give 3 arena songs their flowers. What 3 arena songs are you playing to get the crowd lit?
I like this question.
Okay.
Let me take some notes.
A Flow Rider, Get Low.
Okay.
Okay, I got that.
Honestly, Party Rockers.
Okay, yeah.
And then I would say any Lil Jon.
Okay.
Any Lil Jon.
Hey, Lil Jon?
Yeah, because just the hypeness, the bass line, just everything just goes crazy every single time.
And then we're going to do our second segment. It's called Would You Rather.
Okay.
And Battio curated these
Would you rather?
Mm-hmm.
for you, specifically for you. So, like I said, 60 seconds on the clock.
Okay.
Ready, Battio?
Let's get it.
Go.
Would you rather a dope residency or tour life?
Tour life.
What song would you use to turn up the crowd? Oh, Let's Do It or Swag Surfing?
Swag surfing.
Would you rather have a perfect sound system in a terrible crowd or a bad sound system in a dope crowd?
Perfect sound system.
Would you rather be noticed for your crowd engagement or your mixing skills?
Crowd engagement.
When you're on tour out the country, would you rather a laptop or flash drives?
Laptop.
Would you rather tour day to day or fly home every weekend?
Tour day to day.
Woo! DJ a full night or just a quick set?
Quick set.
DJ in front of a crowd with no energy or a small party with dope energy?
Small party with dope energy.
When you are on tour in the country, tour bus or catching flights?
Flights.
Would you rather try new music live or stay true to a set that you know works?
Stay true.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as you pop in that new music, for me, it's like you'll turn everything left and right. As a matter of fact, Club Killers, they just had a post on Instagram, and a guy was saying how he went through his entire set for the night, which is a really dope social media tactic.
Yeah.
And he was like, he played this song and it didn't work, but then he played this song and this genre and it worked. And it's true, but when you like flipping that new music, especially if you don't know your crowd, man, it'll kill it.
Just stick with what
It'll
works.
kill it.
Yeah.
Stick with what works. And going back to stick with what works, part of that question was about swag surf, right?
You know I had to ask you that.
Yeah. And it's crazy because on Instagram, especially in Atlanta, most of the DJs
Hate
it. They were like, yeah, Meek Mill and Swag Surf.
They play.
My opinion is...
What you got?
My opinion is we're not playing it for us.
All right.
We're DJs. We're doing it for them.
I think we forgot
So
that.
if they're drunk or if they need the energy to get them out their seat,
I used to pray
and
for times like this
and
to
they
rock.
love Meek Mill or they love Swag Surf, why not play it?
Yeah.
And
Now-
I'll be honest, I was one of the people that said that. But I do understand it now. It's not being played for
I'm
me.
gonna play a swag surf.
Yeah. So depending,
Swag surf
and I
will
think
never go
more
away.
and more from a diversity lens, right? More and more that is not of our culture are having them play swag surf. Like I did at the Super Bowl last year.
Yeah.
Yep, did it at the Super Bowl
Yeah.
last year, which was super dope.
So Stormy, what has been the most rewarding part of your DJ journey so far?
The most rewarding part for me, honestly, is that I get to put smiles on people's faces. Like when I started DJing, it was not about the money. It was not about the fame or, being on stage, because it was not happening for me. Like literally, I was, begging people to do free gigs. So for me to be able to like control the music and make people just feel good, whether, whatever they're going through, a divorce, just lost a parent or a child, and they can come out and just let loose. That's the most rewarding part for me, to see people have fun and just let go, whether it's 30 minutes or 2 hours or 4 hours. Like that makes me feel good. And that's why I love DJing. It has nothing to do about your mixing, your scratching skills. It has everything about my impact to people.
Would you ever consider radio?
I would definitely consider radio. It will have to be the perfect marriage, honestly, just because I love touring and I'm always gone. And that's just a part of me. I just love like being in front of thousands and thousands of people. But I would love radio. I would.
I do want to ask this question because you said thousands of people. Your first time in front of like a big crowd, were you like shaking? Like, how was that experience for you?
Well, I'll tell you, the biggest crowd that I've done was Australia.
Okay.
And it was just 3 of us on the stage, and literally it was a sea of people, and the stage was probably 10 times bigger than the largest stage that I've been on. So literally you could have put up all the props from like Beyonce and everything on the stage. That's the size of the stage. So when I saw it, I was like, how am I, just this one voice is going to project and reach and touch all these people? But once the show started, it was like I was just like going through, my blood was boiling, everything was just, I was excited. I was just ready for it. And then I know at that moment, especially in Australia when I did my first show with them, I was like, oh, this is what I was born for. This is what I do right here. And now that's all I want to do.
Yeah.
I want to be on the mic. I want to engage. So if I ever DJ a set and I'm not on the mic, it's not because I don't want to be on the mic. It's just we have to know when to be on the mic and when not to be on the mic. So if I'm not on the mic, that means I'm either opening and I want to do a soft opening for the next DJ that's coming behind me, and I want to make sure that there's a shift of energy, or it's just not the environment to be on the mic and be talking smack to anybody because it's not the environment.
No, it's not always an environment.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, like you said.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people that grab the mic and start talking, and it's awkward. It'd be like, bro, why are you doing all that talking? Or sis, why are you doing all that talking? This is not the environment for it. And then a lot of people as opening DJs, and I still open, like, if you're going to pay me the same, I want to go on first because I want to go home. Or I want to chill with
No,
Monet
yeah, you're right. I feel
and
that,
smoke
yeah.
a hookah or something, or, have a cocktail.
open.
Yeah, like, let me get in and get out, and then I can have some dinner or brunch or something like that.
So we're approaching the end of the interview, but I do want to ask you this question.
Okay.
First of all, no, it's not a question. It's pretty much a statement, and then inside a question. Congratulations on not drinking. Oh, yeah. That's amazing. Let's clap it up for her. Let's clap it up right there, crowd. Let's clap it up. Fans, family.
Yes.
How do you, and this is a dominated industry where, it's around us.
Yes, it
Alcohol is around us. Marijuana is legal in a lot of states. It's around us.
Yeah.
How do you control yourself and stay focused in 2025?
So I've been sober since December 1st of 2024.
Yes.
So I'm going on a couple months now, which is weird. But the first time that I DJ'd, I was performing in Detroit, and I was sober. And I tell y'all, I didn't know how I was going to get through it. I was like, no, I need a drink, because we're just so accustomed. It was like second nature to have a drink. And I normally never drink before any show when I'm on tour. I always drink afterwards.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I haven't had a drink. I'm good. It was the afterwards that was the problem, because everybody was taking shots, celebrating a good show. And I was like, nah, I'm not drinking. And so that's when it sunk in, like, I could really do this without drinking. And then when I did my actual DJ set, not just for the performance, that was strange, because I was hearing things that I ain't never heard before. I was like, oh, but the con of that was it felt longer.
Yeah.
And so it felt like a minute was like
10.
only 10 seconds. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
So I was so used to mixing and blending and hearing the music in a different way when I had a shot of tequila in me. It was just the environment because you got to match the energy.
Yeah.
So now I had to learn how to match the energy but do it sober.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was life-changing for me. It was like, I don't know if I'm going to stay sober, but I know for sure I'm going to continue to treat my body, which is my business and my brand, the best way that I can. And I've been drinking since I was 16.
Yeah.
And so I'm from New Orleans, so we had daiquiris everywhere. So for the first time ever,
They
my
open up at
body
8
is
o'clock.
not being poisoned. And I go to sleep at night with no problems. I wake up early refreshed.
Talk it,
I
yeah.
can burn more fat now. Like my body looks different. It feels different.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. And so, and it's crazy that you asked that question because I've been broadcasting it on social media.
Yeah.
And people don't know if I'm going to be forever sober or if I'm just doing it as a cleanse to be more healthy. But there are more people that are choosing this lifestyle
Yeah.
now. And I was so shocked. I was like, what?
Once you're in the community, you'll find out who's in that community. Yeah.
And it's serious.
And it's inspiring because
really is.
especially
It's hard.
it's tough. It's really, really tough. Like she said, it's second nature. For anybody else that don't know nothing else, it's second nature. So for anybody that's watching the episode and think they can't do it, they can just hear this story right here and be inspired about it.
Man, you could do it. It's not easy,
Yeah.
but once you get past week 2, it's like, okay, what am I drinking for? So again, I'm not saying I'm not going to drink, but I am saying that if you're going to stop drinking, take a time out and really do a mental cleanse.
Yeah.
I have never been clearer in my thoughts, in my planning, in what I want to do in 2025 more than I have been now. Like this is the clearest I've ever been in my life.
That's right.
It's amazing.
It's 2025, the year Stormy.
The year Stormy, baby.
Let's get it, let's get it, let's
They
get it.
say it's Pisces year too, so you know.
Said that.
That's what they said on Instagram. The little, horoscope stuff is like it's
Wait,
the year to
Pisces.
Pisces.
Your
yeah.
birthday's coming up.
March 2nd.
What are you doing for your birthday?
I will be doing CIAA. I have a party up there in Baltimore, but then I'm flying back for my birthday, so I'll probably be at what I've done for the last 8 years at Whiskey Mistress on their Sunday, and then I'm doing a group trip out to Mexico.
Okay.
So people just joining me in Mexico.
I go to your birthday parties. It be dope. You know what I'm
Man, we
saying?
be
It be a
turned.
vibe, man.
We be
you don't see
turned.
you don't see her behind the DJ booth chilling. That's a dope vibe because she's always DJing. So
Man, and I love it. I love people, and I love us just having a great time and enjoying life. So thank y'all for having me. Y'all are so
Yes.
amazing. Monet, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Still working,
Battio,
girl.
I'm so proud
Thank
of
you, thank you.
Y'all are really doing this, like really doing it for the culture. I appreciate y'all.
and that's another episode of the DJs Need Love 2 show. Like I said, I go by the name of DJ Battio.
I am DJ Monae.
The
and
one and
this
only
is-
DJ Stormy.
Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit subscribe. Drop a comment on this episode right now. Let us know that you're tapped in. Let us know that you are enjoying the content because we continue to bring it to you. DJs Need Love 2.